video is on the hymn Blessed Are They, and it's number 982 in the Lutheran Service Book, but don't go looking for it in the Lutheran Service Book. You won't find it. It isn't in the printed version, but it is online. And so, like for us this week at Grace, it will be printed in your bulletin and reflected on the screens as well. And this hymn is a paraphrase of the Beatitudes by Catholic composer David Haas. And I'm guessing you guys may have recognized this hymn by the music that played at the beginning of the video. And I have to admit that when I saw that that was going to be the hymn of the day, I was not super pumped. I was actually a little bit disappointed because this is not my favorite musical style that we sing in the church. And then I went to tell Pastor Wilsey that this wasn't my favorite musical style, which, by the way, is not news to him. And he goes, what are you talking about? That hymn's beautiful. I love that song. And so that discussion of not my favorite thing, but he loves it, that's sort of reflective of the background of this hymn anyway. So it's a perfect lead-in to talk about what David Haas, as a Catholic composer, what he comes out of. So the United Methodist Church has an article on Haas on their website. And in that article, they talk about the history of music in the Roman Catholic Church. Prior to Vatican II, which was from 1962 to 65, the Roman Catholic Church had a set of guidelines for the music that was appropriate for use in the church. And really, that music was medieval plain song and Renaissance motets. So the music that you and I probably think of when we think of traditional liturgy or traditional hymnody. And then after Vatican II, the Roman Catholic Church really opened up that repertoire, opened up those guidelines, and they started including a wide variety of culturally and stylistically diverse music. And at that time in the history of, especially the United States, the popular music really was folk music. So there are a number of these, not just Catholic, but Christian composers who are operating during that time who really want to include the accessibility, the singability of that folk music in the music of the church. And in Haas's case, the Roman Catholic Church, they've allowed this to be a thing, which is great. I mean, our hymnal is also reflective of that change of including music that is culturally and stylistically diverse, to use that same phrase that I used before. And Haas comes out of that time in church history. He is composing later. This hymn is published in the year 1985, but he comes out of that same vein of a desire to include that contemporary music, that accessible and singable and engaging music. Again, not my favorite style, but definitely pastors. And that is how the church has kind of been singing music since, right? We include a variety of styles and a variety of music to appeal to the tastes of many. Not that appealing to many is our one goal in the worship service, so nobody come after me here, okay? But yes, we have all of these different things that we can choose from. And it's actually really, I think it's really cool in some places because like we've got a lot of music from like other countries that would not be in our hymnal if we were sticking to just medieval plain song and Renaissance motets. Haas comes out of this and he writes these hymns like this one that are still accessible, easy to sing, engaging hymns for the people. The music of the people, maybe someone would say. I don't know. I wouldn't say that, but maybe someone would. And again, this hymn is a versification of the Beatitudes, but it is not word for word. So there is sort of a need in there for the singer to fill in what they already know from Scripture, to build out the verses to reflect what Jesus is actually saying in the Beatitudes. And it's a passage that we know so well that we do it subconsciously. I'm not going to go through this hymn verse by verse for you, but if you guys want to get a preview, go ahead and just look up Matthew 5 verses 1 through 12. And that's basically what we're going to be singing this week. And I will leave it to Pastor to connect this one to the text in the sermon for next week. So you guys had better tune in for our church service, either in person or online, and then you will find out more about why Blessed Are They is appropriate for our gospel reading for this week. Or maybe read the gospel yourself and see if you have a guess. The gospel is Mark 10, 23 through 31. Leave it in the comments if you have a guess. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something, and we'll see you next time. Bye.